From the floor of the 2015 national title game, I'm Pete Thamel from Sports Illustrated with my colleague Seth Davis. And since the season's been over for about 25 minutes, why not look ahead to next year, Seth? Let's start with the four teams here at the Final Four. Pretty divergent projections, I would think, from the four of them. How do you see these teams faring next season?
Well, of course, we have a lot that we need to learn about the intentions of players and who's coming back. If you look at Kentucky, for example, I think Kentucky is still going to be a preseason top 5 team. Some people might have them preseason number 1. They have another good recruiting class coming in, and even though they're going to lose probably 5 guys, I would say they're going to have enough coming back, I think, to have a non-freshman starting 5, which is what they had this year. And when you're talking about Tyler Ulis and Devin Booker in your backcourt, Alex Poitras coming back from the ACL, and then you have Marcus Lee and Dakari Johnson up front. That's a pretty good starting 5, assuming everybody comes back, and then you add the freshmen. Michigan State is losing 2 seniors, but Denzel Valentine could be a preseason Big Ten Player of the Year. They have a transfer, Aaron Harris from West Virginia, who joins the backcourt. Duke, I would assume that Justice Winslow and Jahlil Okafor are gone. If Tyus Jones comes back, I think Duke could still be preseason top 10.
I disagree.
I would say.
I don't think Duke. I have a hard time looking at that Duke roster, even with as well as Grayson Allen played tonight, and really seeing them as like an ACC favorite type team.
I think if you looked over, say, the last 15 to 20 years, how many of those 20 years has Duke been below a 2 seed in the NCAA tournament?
Not many, but I do remember, like, would they lost to VCU a couple years ago? I mean, look, they had 8 players, 4 gone. They have 2 recruits coming in, and they have a transfer sitting out.
They have a transfer sitting out, and they're not done with their recruiting. They may add some more.
Correct.
You see, that hinges on Tyus Jones. If Tyus Jones comes back, I think Duke will be a preseason top 10 team. And then Wisconsin, obviously, is going to lose a lot. Frank Kaminsky is graduating. I think Sam Decker is going to go to the NBA. He's been pretty clear about his intentions with that. But Wisconsin is next man up you. So they will be an NCAA tournament team. I have them in my preseason top 25. I could see guys like, Douye Dukin and Bronson Koenig taking that next step and being that next great Wisconsin player. But this 2-year run that they've had of being in 2 straight Final Fours, that's going to be pretty much over.
That would be really difficult for them to hold on to. Is there any other team, when you look at the national landscape, Seth, that really leaps out at you as someone who's going to be locked in your top 5?
Well, I'll give you 2. First of all, if Justin Anderson returns to Virginia, they are my preseason number 1 team because they only lose 1 senior. And, I really felt like until Anderson got hurt that they were a clear number 1 seed and certainly a Final Four caliber team.
Let's stop underrating Virginia. That
they're a great team. And the other one that comes to mind is Maryland, which got a huge recruiting boost this week with a high school center named Diamond Stone. And they also got great news that Melo Trimble decided not to go pro and come back for his sophomore year. So I think Maryland's going to be pretty loaded next year as well.
Click-clack. They also have a transfer from Georgia Tech who's going to start immediately on the front line. I could even see an argument for Maryland being preseason number 1.
Number 1 might be a little bit of a stretch, but, I'm always willing to have that argument. I'm always willing to argue with you, whatever you want to say. you and I arguing is not going to be anything new.
No, the argument will end here as the season has ended here. For Seth Davis, I'm Pete Thamel. See you in 2015-16.